All right, welcome back to the Gamers Hall. I'm Chris.
And I'm Adam.
And today we're going to be getting into a bit of a controversial topic. We're going to do the good and the bad on this is what my character would do.
Yeah, this is when a player basically says, I'm going to plant my flag on this hill, and this is what I'm going with.
And sometimes it's good, and sometimes it's bad. And I've definitely seen a lot of times where it comes out bad, and the person knows it's bad, but they still do it anyways.
So we're going to break down those in a few ways to help explain and for you to understand, especially as a player, why sometimes this statement itself might not be what you want to use.
So one of the first things we want to talk about is that sometimes a player will use this to create tension between other players.
Right. And a good example of this is when you are going to maybe meet a baron or a king or something, and everybody just bows to the king, but the one guy says, I'm not going to bow, I'm going to stare him straight in the eye.
Yeah, I bow to no one.
Yeah. And that can create a tension amongst the other people who understand the rules of what you're getting into is to show reverence to these people. Well, this guy's chosen, obviously, to be opposing that. And, I mean, that's one example. It could be also that I refuse to kill any kobold. I will never kill a kobold, no matter what they do. I will not do it.
Yeah, or you can even go on the opposite of that. I kill all orcs because in my backstory, my parents were killed by orcs, so I kill all orcs regardless. Yeah, that orc over there that is carrying a bushel of apples and is a female that's pregnant, don't care, killing it. It's what my character will do.
Right, and the paladin will obviously look at that and go, I mean, what? Why? Yeah. Okay, I wouldn't necessarily have done that.
It's like, listen, all orcs are evil.
Yeah.
This is what happened to me. It's what my character would do.
Yeah. And this is the moment that sets kind of that when people, they feel strongly about it. Like, basically, it's a strong emotion. When somebody is doing this right off the go, it comes from a strong emotional place. A lot of times people don't know how to deal with that. When somebody's obviously emotional about what they're doing, it's bringing something into a character that may be coming from something on the outside that a lot of people don't know how to deal with.
Yeah, and like, we're all here playing Dungeons and Dragons. We're trying to have fun, and sometimes, even if it is what your character would do, it's best not to do it for the enjoyment of the table.
Right.
And then you talk to your DM later and talk about, like, okay, maybe we not do some of these things or try to put less of this in here. So let's go to the next one. The next one is going to be, they use it as an excuse to cause harm.
Right. So going back to the orc example. If it's just going to go ahead and kill everything, then that could cause a problem of where you need to get to. You can't be diplomatic anymore with these people if you're randomly killing your people. And this is going to cause harm to characters, players especially as well. Like, a character might not like it, but a player might say, hey man, you're not letting me do what I'm supposed to do here. Because of your actions, I can't be the bard that talks to everybody. You're not allowing me to play.
Right. Or there's other things like PvP actions, stealing from other party members, casting charm spells or command spells or dominate person to get other players' characters to do the things you want them to do.
Right.
Well, my character would do this. This is what my character would do.
Yeah. It's basically not understanding what the action that they're taking, how much it causes ripples in the rest of the game. I mean, campaign-wise, player-wise, DM-wise, because the DM might go, well, how am I supposed to play this? You're wanting to do this, and as a DM, I'm supposed to allow you to make the decisions you want to make. But I know that it's not going to make these people happy. I also know that you are going to wreck everything I've planned for this campaign by that choice.
Yeah, or there may be some tension between the players outside of the game, but they're bringing it into the game and they're
Right.
using my character would do this as a way to upset one of the other players.
Yeah.
When it's completely out of what their character has done previously.
Yeah. Totally out of context and completely uncalled for.
The last one we're going to talk about is it creates moments of just pure confusion.
Yeah. Like that moment when I said, "Why?" Well, you know you've messed up when somebody says, "Why?" and you explain it to them and they go, "But why?" Again. Basically, if whatever your action you just took can't be explained to where somebody will at least accept what you're going with, then that action of my player would is probably not a good action. Because if you cannot make it relevant to what is going on, then you're not really adding anything into this story.
Yeah. Like, I mean, and hey, we've done it too. For instance, my character, Ilundra, we had a big thing with the party. We were going to meet some hags, and it was clear we were starting to get outnumbered. And I sent a message to one of the other players, do I need to be ready? And immediately the character put his hand on the hip, which is where I kept my wand of fireballs, which I took it as, it's go time. Boom! Shot out the fireballs. Like, that's not what we said, but it already happened.
Yeah, and there's no taking back when you did that. And they killed things that were supposed to help them. But because that's what his character would do, instead of stopping and saying, hey, hold on, what did you mean by that? Like, out of character, would my character understand that you touching the hip just means to be ready? Which is what he intended, instead of immediately shoot out of surprise. And that created a somewhat fun moment. But as a DM, actually, that ruined what I was attempting to do, because we were playing Dungeons of the Mad Mage, and I needed them to talk to these hags so they could understand who and where they needed to see next on the levels. And that actually took me a while of reorienting what we were doing to get them where I needed to go. Instead of in 15 minutes, what they could have done, it took them 2 more sessions to do.
And I get it. That's what my character would have done. But the way we fixed that was, after that happened, everybody in the party was like, okay, listen. Do nothing. Just be ready. And don't do anything until you see one of us do that thing. It's like, okay, my character will react. Like, we dealt with it accordingly.
Yeah. So, that was one good thing that came out of it. So we're going to switch over and tell you what's good about actually saying my character would do.
Okay, so some of the good things that can come out of this is what my character would do is it's a good way to set the tone for your character that will build good RP and character development. So it will let the other players know that, hey, this is something my character feels strongly about, and this is how they're going to react if this comes up.
Yeah, it allows people to understand that, okay, he's always going to tend towards emotion. And an example of that is when I played my bard Tal Malkart in a campaign. I played him as a coward. He wanted to be a hero, but he was always afraid of getting battle. And I definitely said that at the beginning. I don't want to be in a fight ever. But it allowed my character to mature, because I had set a precedent first to become that hero. Because I would constantly get stuck in battles, and my friends would need help, and they would set up things for me to do that allowed me to break out of that precedent. But by setting precedent first, like, no, I'm a fighter. I tell stories. I'm not a fighter. I don't fight at all. I tell stories, and that's what I do.
Yeah.
It allows a meaningful role-playing growth.
Or if maybe you're that paladin that says, like, I will not kill anyone that is defenseless. So if there's sleeping goblins and orcs, like, no, I'm not killing them. It's not happening.
No. I'll knock them out. If they've given up, I'll ask them that I can bind their hands so they will not fight, or I'll take an oath, or we'll do something, and we'll take them back to justice. If we're going to capture them, which could be fun.
The next thing is going to be knowing what to expect.
Right. So now
that they've built this.
Yeah, now they've done this. Also that the half-orc barbarian, he likes to kick indoors. So now you go, hey man, you're up. So it allows him to continue doing his one thing, which allows him to also play off of that one thing. It's like, yeah, I kicked in this door one time, when my, just front kicked it. This time I'm going to ram through this door. Or this time I'm going to knock, let them come to the door, then knock down the door. It allows people to know that, hey, this is the moment that this person gets to shine in their own little way.
Right. And you don't want to be the character that's like, okay, I know we've got the half-orc barbarian that likes to charge and break down doors. I'm just going to cast Shatter on the door before he can even get to it.
Yeah. Although, could be funny in some ways where you might disappoint him. But giving them that precedent of what to expect could be, a bunch of relevance. Also, it could be the moment when a player might take an action that they know would be bad, because I shouldn't kick in this door, and then one person goes, that's going to be trapped. You shouldn't kick in this door. And giving them the moment to go, wait, stop, and actually help and stop them from doing the bad thing that they were going to do, because the player can also say, hey, look, you understand my character is not that bright. He's going to continue to do this one thing. And I'm going to need your character, to help me stop doing this one dumb thing I'm going to do. But that gives player interaction between, because you know what to expect.
Right. Or if you have the rogue who is picking pockets all the time, then let him do it. But also, don't be the guy that's like, oh, yeah, I see that. I'm reporting you to the authorities. It's like, wait, what? Like, you're literally getting my character thrown in jail. I'm going to have to sit out this whole entire session now. Like, come on. Like, just pretend you didn't see it.
Yeah, or in some cases you might go, hey man, you love pickpocketing, but we really need to get into the castle, and I'm going to get you caught. You attempt to pickpocket, and I'll call you out when you do it. So that we can get you in, because that character is penchant for doing this thing.
Or maybe you're the character that goes, hey, let's not pick the pockets here. I know another place. I'll create a distraction, and these people are all thugs that have been pickpocketing other people. Let's pick their pockets.
Yeah, go a little Robin Hood with this. We don't do it to the good peasant folk. Let's go do it to the rich people. Let me point you in the right direction. If you're going to do this thing, let's do it the right way.
And the other thing is, creates moments of drama.
Right. You know that door that half-orc barbarian is about to kick? And you casted Shatter instead? Because that person's going to do that. That's the drama situation. Why did you cast Shatter? What happened? What was going to do?
Yeah.
You knew what I was going to do. You know I like kicking in doors.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you were doing that as a friendly joke to kind of just be funny, ha ha ha. But when you do it all the time, that's when it becomes a problem.
Right. Or the other moment of when that paladin says, the whole time, I will never kill an unarmed person. But he all of a sudden, out of nowhere, just stabs this one person straight through. This old woman on the floor. And
he has gone against his character.
Completely against his character. And that's a moment for role-playing build of, why would you do this? And, excitement of how all the players will react. And what is significant about this one person?
Yeah, what's the story here?
Yeah.
Let's delve into this.
Yeah, it could be that this is some old lady that he knew, that he vowed to kill. Or maybe the DM and him had come up with some other thing in the background saying, oh yeah, you've been possessed this entire time. But it sets up precedence for storytelling moments.
Yeah, like now you're that rogue, and it's like, oh, we're in this town. We're in Sundabar. Oh, I don't pickpockets while I'm here. Mm-mm. What do you mean you don't pickpockets while you're here? You pickpockets everywhere we go. Yeah, literally every town, every village.
Right.
It's like I don't do it here. No. We got to get to this. We're going to a tavern.
Yeah.
We're getting some drinks. We're getting to this.
Why? Why did you do that? And it creates like nice little moments. And these are great moments for the DM to always play off of. You know, basically force somebody into a direction you may or may not want. But as a player, it's always a fun time to continually do that one funny thing, and for people to react from that one funny thing.
Yeah, and I mean, there are definitely good, my player, this is what my character would do, and there's bad, this is what my character would do. If you know it's going to put you and the party in a weird situation, or it's going to create tension between the group, rethink it, and...
Yeah. Basically, if this is going to make, outside of the characters, if this is going to make players uncomfortable, don't do that. Like, if you're going to do something like that, make sure the person that would be uncomfortable from it, let them a little bit understand maybe beforehand. Like, say, hold on, stop. I'm about to do something that your character is definitely going to be uncomfortable with. I want you to know I'm not doing it to make you angry. I'm just doing it because I believe my character would do something like this, and I would like you to react with your character. It's fine to break the immersion just for a few seconds to make everybody understand, yeah, hey, something's about to go down. Let's play off of this, okay? So don't try to hurt other players while doing this. Character-wise, not usually a bad thing. Characters can play off other characters, but player-wise, this should never be a moment to cause harm or just bring in bad things from outside the game in.
Yeah, you don't want to be the bard that loves to tell stories and has to tell stories and is constantly charming the other players into doing things that they wouldn't normally do.
Yeah, nobody's going to enjoy that. But here's a few little examples about the good and bad of this one statement that everybody has made at every D&D table at some time. I know I've said it several times myself, not even meaning to. It's kind of like, It's just a thing that is said when playing.
Right. And we just really wanted to bring it out and let people know that, yeah, it's good that you're into your character this much, but it's okay to tone it back some. Or, if what you're doing it for, make sure that it's not going to cause tension between the group, because that can lead to groups breaking up, and now you're having to find a new D&D group to play with.
Yeah. And this one for sure, in the comments, put your story down there. One moment you or somebody else said, I'm going to do this. And let us know, because this is a good community building subject of what could be good and what could be bad. And, acceptable and not acceptable for this, so everybody understands where different people come from, because honestly, this is something that every group and everybody that plays D&D around the world will approach differently, because what is acceptable in one place is not always acceptable in another one. So put something down there in the comments telling us about that one time you said, I'm not gonna do this because my character would not do this.
Right. And hey, until then, like, share, subscribe. Please comment, because we definitely want to read and interact with those.
Yeah, and hit that bell notification when we drop some more stuff.
Till then, guys, keep having fun at your gaming table.
Yep.